Hello everybody, welcome back to Training Every Single Day. I'm mainly going to focus right now on doing some handstand walking to the side. So not really forwards and backwards because I can already do that, but the sideways is kind of the fastest way and one of the cooler ways, so let's give it a try. Ooh. So I can pretty much do it if I really kind of use like an overbalance and arch my back a lot, because that reduces the amount that your technique has to use to balance.
So if you enjoyed any part of the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to support the channel. It's one of the best ways to do that. You can follow my Instagram in the bio. And there's also a connect with me number if you really want to call me. You can call me on that connect with me number. And it just costs $1 per minute if you really want to talk to me or just say thanks. That's one of the ways to do it. But I continue to do some handstand walks in the sideways position for a little bit. And if you look down there, you can see one of my dogs. That's Cerberus. Very old dog, about 15 years old, 16 years old, maybe 17 years old. I've had her for about 15 years, but she was a little bit older when we got her. But that's old Cerberus. And, outside, a great way to challenge some of your balance to get the handstand. I was really working with some speed and trying to see which positions look the best. So I was really trying to do some varied positions and look back at it with the camera. And I think I kind of got the idea. I'm going to do it with the technique I did at the beginning of the video with the kind of arched back and kind of kicking the legs to find your balance. So here I did a little bit of dog yoga, where I got another one of this one's Chloe. She's quite obese, but I'm not the one who feeds her, so not really my problem. And that's just a little extra weight, just trying to find some balance on some crawling. You might think this might be a little bit useless for balancing something on your back, but, if you have to pick somebody up off the floor who's unconscious, you do have to balance them on your back before standing up, and that takes a little bit of balance, and that's something that I'm working on here. Chloe here seems to be trying to balance on me, but she eventually jumps off and flops off there.
So, back outside. I think I've got the microphone situated so that I can do a lot of these more advanced movements without hearing too much clanking. And I think this will be a good way for us to get a little bit more closer, at least for me to share some of the insights on the movements as I'm doing them, so I don't have to write them down and think about it for the voiceovers. But here, one of the more important ways to keep the legs nice and sturdy, where you can both stretch out the hamstrings and the hips in a more dynamic manner. And I want to try out a backflip, see if you can get a nice looking backflip. Oh, this side's a little bit more sore. But yep, see if we can get a good backflip here. Ooh, a little bit tired, so I had to use my hands. So this is getting near the end of the training. Back inside, gonna do some nighttime stretching. but not before I do some single-legged balance drills, where I work on really driving through the ankles and the hips, and then seeing how that motion really works with my spine, and able to do some spinal movement, spinal balancing. So this right here is spinal balancing, and then here is some spinal movements. Loosening up the spine and mobilizing the spine is very important for old age. A lot of older people have very rigid spines. And you're always going to want to have a very loose spine, very mobile spine. Also want to do a quick balance in the handstand. And then I'm going to do a strength handstand. Just one strength movement here in the handstand.